So this will be a video for Come Together. And where I'm going to start, because this is the second part I'm going to play, I'm going to start right over here. Actually, I'm going to start right there. Second ending, okay? And I'm going to go through the second ending and explain what this DS is. I already explained it in the music. DS means del segno in Italian. That means go back to the sign. The sign is actually over here. So that's where I'll start playing. I'm not going to start there. I'm going to start there instead. And then I'll keep playing through the music that you already know. You're going to play through this third line, and then you're going to skip to the second line. And this time you're going to keep on going. Since you already did the DS, then you're going to move forward. So I'll go over each of the sections so that you can listen to it and see me play it on the guitar. Again, I'm going to start right there. Sometimes I'm going to start here to get you into the jump to the second ending, but I will start right now, right there on the second ending. So second ending is F, 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 D, F. Those are eighth notes. F, F, D, F. And you've already played that before. When you do the third line, it goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the first ending went F, F, D, F. And then you went right back to the beginning. Okay? So now, when you do the second ending, it sounds the same except the second ending has more notes after this. F, F, D, F. You'll see another set of Ds. And I had asked you, and I did discuss this with the class when we did the Zoom lesson, is it starts on D with your second finger on it. So you're moving your hand over. You're going to play the D with your second finger, which is 3rd fret, 2nd string, 2nd finger. It goes 2 Ds, and then you go to an A, which is the 5th fret of the 1st string. And then you go to the F sharp, is the first finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, because a sharp sign, it looks like a pound or a hashtag, moves any note up a fret. Here's F, F, then F sharp is there. So that's why you're going to have D, D, A, F sharp. Okay? And the rhythm will sound like this. Here's the second ending going to the next measure. F, F, D, F, and then we have the Ds. D, D, A, F sharp, okay? Now that measure that has that F sharp, when it goes D, D, A, F sharp, it's connected, so that's tied, but then you play another F sharp one more time on beat 4, okay? Then the next measure after that is open E, and then some very fast notes, they're 16th notes. It's E, then you're going to play D, and you still have your second finger there. E, D, open B. E, D, B. So when you go do, do, D, da, 2, 3, 4, E, da, da, E, D, 2nd fret, open B, da, 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 because those notes are faster. Da, da, 2, 3, 4, 1, and, okay? B, or E, B, E, D, B, okay? And then still in that measure, you're going to play another B, B, and then you're going to play 2 more Ds, D, D, and that note rings through. So what it sounds like, it sounds like this. Do, do, D, 2, 3, D, da, 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 2, 3, 4, 1, okay, da, da, da. So I'm going to play it from the second ending. F, F, D, F, then do, do, D, da, 2, 3, 4, 1, E, and 2, and 3, 4, point, you're at the place in the music that says DS, okay? And that DS goes back to the top, but not the first measure, but the second measure, and that's one of these. But when you start on the second measure, you're not going to do 4 of those, you're only going to do 3. And then you play the song the way you play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the third time. That's all. You're not going to do 4 times. 3, 4. Then. All of that. Third line going to the second ending. Second ending, then 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to the next line. That's this one over here. Because when you play da da da, that's this. You let it ring, rest, and then now we're going to start right there. And if you'll notice, what it looks like right there is the same as the beginning introduction. But you only play that measure once. Now we're going to go into a new section here, which I will describe. If you look at the music, you'll notice the lowest note is always the same. That's the 4th string open. And then what I have up here is I have a number 1, because that's the finger that you're using on the 3rd string, 2nd fret is your number 1. That Roman numeral 2, everybody, means you've moved into what's called a second position, and that's why I'm putting your first finger there. Wherever you put your first finger is the position marker. Anyway, your first finger's on the A, which you already know. And then I'm going to have you put your 3rd finger on the same string, 3rd string, on the 4th fret with your 3rd finger. So I'll show you what that looks like. Now, what I want to mention is, if you'll notice, this measure here looks the same as that one, the same as that one, and the same as that one. You're going to be playing the same thing for 4 measures. That's a long time. So let me show you what your first finger is doing and your 3rd finger in that passage. Okay, so I'm going to start, I'm going to actually start here, and then I'm going to move forward. So line number 4, measure 17, has you doing just like the intro. Okay, just once. Then it goes into a part where it's playing the 4th string always with the 3rd string, and that's this. Right? But then it's going 1, and then it's putting the 3rd finger, same string. So you're not going to a different string, you're going to the same string, and you're putting it on the 4th fret, your 3rd string, and you're still playing the 4th string open. So when you go back and forth, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, it sounds like this. You hear it like in Batman, 1960s, 66, I think. He's using one finger and you're changing that one note, but the lowest note stays the same. So that part is just going to be this: 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3. That's one measure. Each measure contains 2 of those patterns. It's going to be 4 measures long. You're going to do ultimately 8 of those patterns. But you want to think of them as being 1 measure long. This. 2, 3, 4. Better to think of them in measures. So here's that whole line. I'm going to start on line number 4, starting on measure 17. That's going to have this as the beginning. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, then and you start 1, 2, 3, 4. Next measure 1, 2, 3, 4. Next measure 1, 2, 3. Next measure, next line, measure 21, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's just the same thing going back and forth for 4 measures completely. Then you're going to go to this next section right here. And what's interesting about it is you're going to actually do the same thing with your fingers, but you're just going to switch the strings you're doing them on. And what I mean, and that's going to happen, here's 1 measure, 2 measures, and then I have a repeat sign. So it's really the equivalent of 4 measures again. The reason I made that with a repeat sign is so that I can fit all the music in there. When that 1 extra measure would have gone past the page. So I just made this a 2-bar phrase repeated to total 4 measures. All right, so now we're on measure 22, line number 5, second measure, and you just did finish doing this. Okay, you were using 1 finger, 3rd finger, 1st finger, 3rd finger, and using an open string as the low string. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your 1st finger, move it to the 4th string. You're going to use the 5th string as a bass, and you're going to play on the 4th string with your 1st finger. Then you're going to go back and forth between those 2 frets, 1st fret, 3rd, or rather 2nd fret, 4th fret, but using your 1st finger, 3rd finger, 1st finger, 3rd, okay? So basically you've done the same thing as far as your left hand is concerned. It's just that you're playing them on the next adjacent strings. So that measure is that pattern is 4 measures long because it's a repeated 2-measure phrase. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's second measure. 2, 3, 4. You're going to repeat it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the pattern's pretty easy. You just have to remember how many times you're playing it and when you're supposed to play it. So now I'm going to start on 4th line, measure 17, where it has 1 measure like the intro. If you're looking at that music, okay, it looks like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next measure starts the pattern. 2, 3, 4. Next measure, 2. That's the second measure. Next measure, 3rd measure. Next measure, next line. Then you switch. 1, 3, 4. Next measure. Repeat. 2, 3, 4. Final. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that whole sequence. Then what you play, and I'll show you on the music, you've just done all these repeats. Now you're going to go there. And if you see those notes, you can see, those are the same notes. 4th string open, 1st finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. It's an A. Same notes as you have in the intro. But what you have is, as far as note value and rhythm, 2 whole notes, and those lines, right, tie the notes. That means you're not going to actually play this one again. You're just going to play it and let it ring for 2 measures. That's a long time. It would be this equivalent of this. Here's the D and the A. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Another measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how long that lasts. So if I was playing this part, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. This is the part just before that. 4. Here's the last repeat. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the end of that line. So it's just 2 notes. Okay, remember it's the 4th string and the 5th string, or the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Now at that point, you're there. So then that means you're finished with that line, and look what happens. See this, where it says A? It's that melody. Ba, 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 F, 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 D, C, D. It starts all over again, the melody that you already know. It keeps going. Everything that you've played before. And then you go and you see that part that says B over here. That's the go. Da, da, dee, dum. D, D, A, F sharp. Da, dee, da, dum. Da, da, dum. And then the end of the song is the same as the beginning. Ba, ba. It's like intro 3 times. Dee, dee, da, bum. And then all of a sudden, you see this. This is the same as that. It's bum, bum, bum. It's these notes here. The end. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the entire song from the beginning with all the repeats and the way that you're supposed to play it, okay, from the very beginning. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1. Third line. Then we repeat the beginning. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Here's that melody again. Third line jumping to the second measure. Second ending. That's second ending. Here we go. Do, do, dee, dum. Dee, da, da, da. 2, 3. Da, da, da. 1, 2, 3. Where the sign is. Second measure. 2, 3, 4. Third measure. 2, 3, 4. Fourth measure. 2. Here comes a melody. Here comes that third line. Second ending, then. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3. Only a single one of these. 1, 2, 3. Here comes that long pattern. 1, 3, 4. Second measure. 3, 4. Third measure. Fourth measure. Then we switch. First. Second of the sequence. Repeating it. 3, 4, and last time 2, 3, and these 2 single notes. 2, 3, 4. Another measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Melody returns. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. This is the last time you do this. 2, and then you're going to do this pattern right now. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. And you play that. If we're playing along with the song, and I'm doing it exactly as the Beatles did it, as far as what's being played, it starts to fade out. Just doing that. Okay, that was the whole thing, which is what I would like everybody to be able to play. And I hope that this video is helpful to learn how to do that. I wish we could all do it together live, but this is the way we have to do it now. Okay? All right.